Today's June 7th. We finally bought the trophy rock. Let's go set it. Trophy rock, you always want to get another rock or a stump or anything you have to make it higher off the ground, to keep it off the ground and help the deer lick it better. In this case, I have 2 logs, and I'm going to set it in between them. Better view for the trail camera, better view for you, and it'll help the deer lick it better. And if you have corn, you always want to put it in a U shape, so that way when the deer come, it'll be in a U shape, and if they're growing their antlers and you're making a hit list and you don't want a whole lot of branches that are twisty that'll look like antler tines, so it'll be confusing telling the velvet tines from branches, and it'll be hard to identify the deer. So always put it in a U shape where their heads aren't always clouded in one spot and you can't tell if it's a buck or a doe or even how many points it has. Well, 3 days ago, I talked about moving the trail camera back where those trails crossed over each other, and it turns out it wasn't the best spot. I guess they weren't using that trail much. We only got 1 picture of a deer, so we moved it back to this spot. We bought some trophy rock finally. We got it set out right here. It's a great spot. It's the same spot during turkey season. We got a picture of that buck growing his antlers. It was back in April, so he only had the stubs, but now we have it set back in the same spot, hoping we can catch him again and get better views of him and hold him closer and get more pictures with this trophy rock. Well, yesterday we came to check the trail camera before we moved it, and we had that 1 picture of a deer, so we don't have a whole lot for you to check back to, because I know last week we said, check back for pictures. Unfortunately, we only got 1 deer. We didn't keep it there for a long time. We got the trophy rock set, and hopefully we'll have some better pictures next week. But I had a funny but cool experience when I was walking up there. It's always good to keep quiet when you're going in the woods. Always act like a turkey or a deer's watching you, because I was by myself walking up here, and I always like to keep quiet in the woods and not drag my feet. And there's thick pines on the other side of a trail, and I heard something and looked up, and I saw the dark body of a turkey. And it's really weird when you're walking like that to see it running at you instead of away, because it turned and it kind of came at me, but it went up to my left, and there's about 8-foot tall pine trees in between me and the hen, and that dust bath, which I talked about earlier in the turkey season, she just dropped down in it and started dusting herself, and I couldn't get a real good video because the pine trees were there. And then she, when she saw me, she stood up, gave a few arm putts, and flew off. That's a cool experience. She thought I was another turkey walking in there, and she didn't want to wait in line for that dust bath. She was probably a dominant hen. Catfish. Oh, this one's a little bit bigger than that last one. I just caught a largemouth on a buzzbait. nothing big, but I always like catching them on a lure rather than a worm. I call this my secret bass lure. It's the second bass I've caught on it, but I've hooked one on it before, a big one, but I lost it twice. It's my secret bass lure. Well, I just found some possible hog sign on this trail. This is a great sign because they were here last deer season, and on the videos I hunted them. But at around January, when deer season ends, it's legal in North Georgia for people to put dogs on them. And all on the public land that borders this, they were dogging them, and they killed most of them out, and they moved over to the WMA, and they never really came back. They're mostly gone after you dog them. This is a great sign that we might be able to hunt them again this deer season, because I'm pretty sure they might be back in here, so that's a good sign. Most people call them pests, but I like to hunt them if it's not ruining my land, and back here they're not doing anything, so it's a great sign they might be coming back. It's June 6th. It's about 7:45 p.m. and I'm going to take the 30-06 out and see if I can get some coyotes to come in. Well, unfortunately, that hunt didn't work out. We didn't see a coyote, but we only called one time. And the only thing that reacted out there again trying to get a coyote down. And I know I said last week, check back this week to see if we have pictures. Well, all we had to show you is that one, but hopefully we'll get some more in this spot with the trophy rock finally out. And let's see how we do, and make sure you check back next week.